I just want to thank you again for coming back to my channel. If you find anything you like, please don't forget to share and subscribe. This is actually Bodybybijai program. We're going to go through 5 different phases. I have the first week to the 3rd week. Very simple system. I have the sets and I have everything you need. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe. The reason that we're working on this move first is I want you to be able to get the maximum potential out of every move, because you'll keep hearing me reiterate. Stabilize your midline, stabilize your midline. Make sure that you get this move down and focus on the reps and technique. Here's the same position, just from a different angle. I want you to notice how I keep my head in between my shoulders and I do not let my chin fall below my chest plate. And I keep it controlled so that you can see I'm moving the scapula back and forth. This drill is perfect to create a correct hip movement and abdominal pattern when running, so that when we reach the running phases, you will not develop any injuries or get out of sync in the correct movement pattern. One of my favorite drills when developing core strength in an unnatural position. Notice how you go from the push-up to a pike and hold it, and then move back to a push-up position. It is very important to be able to hold a stable midline and stability in the core in all positions. This is one of my favorite drills. We're able to focus on the abdominal wall and keep a stable midline. Back of the head to the ground, shoulder blades pinched, and the lower back and tailbone touching the ground. Notice how I maintain my elbow and knee touching the whole time throughout the drill. Now this is perfect. This is working on rotor stability, having great range of motion in your torso by keeping that glute fired off. So my left glute at this angle is firing off, keeping my hips in a great position, and I'm only moving my upper torso. Again, I want you to pay attention how I'm keeping a stable midline. My left glute is fired off, my head is in a neutral position, and I'm just throwing the ball into a natural movement pattern. Now, the reason that I added this drill in is we will learn to pivot and keep our core fired off. And again, your abdominals all move in different patterns, from squatting to lunging to sprinting to even sitting when driving. So we want to develop patterns in all aspects of life. So as our ankles tighten up and our hips lock up, we forget how to move. So now I'm going to add this wall toss and rotate. So make sure that your feet focus on going on a figure 8 position in and out of the cone. Toss the ball, rotate, catch it. Toss the ball, rotate, and catch it. It's important that you focus on tossing the ball as you rotate. So once you catch it, you have to stabilize, and if your core is weak, you'll lose the ball or you'll fall off balance. So don't worry about moving quick until you can get on a balanced pattern. This is a great example of showing that your body has an abdominal pattern. So I want you to imagine you standing up and holding your knee up, but now I've put you in a different position, and notice the technical difficulties that you go through when doing this position. Now focus on the hold, slide hold. 1, 2, 3. Now this is just a simple movement focusing on mountain climbers. I don't want you moving too fast, and I want you to feel if your shoulder blades are pinched and keep your hips level. Remember, stable midline, very important throughout this program. This is a complex movement, but it looks very simple. I want you to focus on doing a lateral lunge on each side, keeping balance, and then following through with your right arm if you're facing the wall with your left shoulder. We're working on rotor stability, and we just want to show that our balance is equal on both sides. So if one side is uncomfortable, make sure you switch to the other side and increase the rep. Just allow your hips to sit through and work on your range of motion. When doing this drill, try to keep your feet forward as best as possible. If you feel a move out, reset them and keep moving. Now, time to get to the best cardio in the world. Low impact on the body, very simple. It's $5 to buy. we're going to do a jump rope. Check the jump rope. Make sure you put your foot in the center of the jump rope and both handles reach your armpit, and you'll know that jump rope is your perfect height. Now when you go through the jump rope, do different drills. 2 feet, running in place, heel to toe, boxing style, jumping back and forth from one side to another. Just make sure you focus on keeping a stable midline. Notice I just moved my feet and my chest and torso is not bouncing. It's very stable and very controlled. The jump rope is one of the best cardio drills you can do of all time. Metabolism's up, you're constantly moving, and you have to break a stable midline to make a mistake. So go through some simple jumps. 2 feet jump, running in place, heel to toe, boxing style. And one of my favorite challenges is the double unders. As you notice, the rope goes through 2 times before I land back down. And this is a great way to work on explosion. Very simple program, step by step. You don't need much equipment. Please focus on trying to do this 3 to 5 times a week so you get the best potential. I'll be with you in 3 weeks.